Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchus Ryan and I'm joined by
Dave.
Ted.
And today we're going to discuss what does your class say about you, the Rogue.
Jump down to the description below where you can find Nerdarchy the newsletter, gain weekly tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So the Rogue, the Rouge, as so many people mistype it, typo it. Yeah, or the Thief. I feel like the Rogue has he's like, listen, I don't know who you are or where you are, and I don't have a lot of money, but I have a unique set of skills. So, yeah, they are the most skilled character in the game, and they thrive off of this.
Indeed.
It's the easiest class to reskin, too, as far as what you actually
What that
are.
means, yeah.
Like, in previous editions of the game, you were the thief, right? And literally, your name said pretty much what you did. You stole stuff.
But nowadays we only use the T word.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's very offensive to certain people.
Certain people.
Yeah, like
So
thieves.
the idea, you absolutely can go with the stereotypical thief. You're the guy who knows how to pick locks, detect traps. You go in and you use your dexterous fingers to pilfer whatever it is that you want. But
Well, not only that too. Like as you gain levels, you get really good at second story work, where like you're running across rooftops doing some Aladdin type of shit, which
Right.
is pretty cool.
But as the editions have come on throughout D&D, people have taken the Rogue and gone into so many different levels. You can be the con man, that you're actually focusing on charisma and doing interaction type stuff, because being so skilled, you can get all of those interaction skills. The current edition allows you to put expertise anywhere that you like. It's crazy.
It's a lot harder to define this class for role playing than it is with the other ones. Like, if you're a fighter, you are some kind of soldier, you're some kind of warrior. You're with the Rogue, though, you could be anything. You can come from any walk of life. You could be formally trained. You could be self-taught. You could it could be a one-on-one apprentice. It could be a school.
You could be just, well, I'm naturally that gifted.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to approach this character.
Culturally, you can come at it from any different sort of culture thing. Like you could be more of a scout, a very skilled scout who like is used to looking for traps, like natural traps and ambushes or whatever. Or you could totally be the urban city dweller type of character, and all those things are very much legitimate choices.
In one of my games, Ty Johnson played a rogue, but he played his character as a surgeon. And that's why he was able to do precision-based damage, and
he was familiar with the body.
And I think he took I might even taken the soldier background and field medic, and the healers. What is it? Was it just called healer? The feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took that feat, so it was like. Yeah, so you can really take this class in a lot of different directions.
And if you're gonna, as GM, if you're a little fast and loose with some of the abilities, fast hands could potentially apply to the application of the medical kit.
Yeah.
The healer's kit, exactly. So like you could do that as a bonus action. So you could run around the battlefield and potentially stabilize two people in one round.
Yeah, I would definitely allow that if they traded it for something. Like, okay, well, I don't hide.
Yeah.
But I dash, disengage, or apply a healer's kit.
Right.
Yeah, I think would be like kind of a fair trade-off.
Yeah. I would totally.
So there's definitely ways you could probably tweak it like that. So when you're approaching this class, as far as trying to figure out, the role playing, it's going to be more so like your race and your background and the story that you come up with. That's going to lend itself to you figuring out how you're going to portray your character.
But what does your class say about you? If you're a rogue, you're an expert at something. You're really good at.
So really, what defines your character for the rogue is the skills you select, and then either furthermore from that, the things you take expertise in.
Yes.
Like those. I feel like the expertises or expertise, as you properly pluralize it, like are the most defining things that say what it is your character is. Like, did you take stealth and perception? So you're like the sneaky ninja character, basically.
It almost feels like when you look at the way the character's built, like sneak attack is like just kind of like clumped on there because rogues and thieves always did some kind of extra damage.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but then again, like, and there's different ways to explain it. Where you could be an expert fighter, you're just really good at taking cheap shots, or you're surgically precise. Yeah. Right. So all those things are definitely legitimate.
But that's not really a lot of ways. There's like 2 ways.
3-ish.
You're like, you know.
Well, you could be skilled. You could be perceptive and aware and timely of when to strike. You know, the medical idea that you guys were talking about, you could know exactly where to strike, and you're waiting for those exact opportunities. So that's at least 3. I'm certain.
I feel like they're just variations. You're either like a really good fighter, or
you're dirty. You're really dirty.
Or you're knowledgeable. Well, dirty is even a form of fighting in itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if you explain sneak attack dice from, like, you stab them and kick them in the nuts? Like, but you're just lumping that all into one die.
I could come up with maybe one other thing,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're lucky. You know, like you don't actually intentionally sneak attack; it just kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that could be a thing that works too.
You know, and so really, like that's kind of the trick if you're going off the beaten path with the rogue, is like explaining your sneak attack, because that's the only part to me that can feel a little clunky and weird.
Well, shoehorned in, depending
Yeah.
on how you're explaining your character.
Yeah, you know, especially if you're not the assassin.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you think about like letting a player replace that with something?
The sneak attack?
Yeah, and what would you replace it with?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's tricky. I don't know.
I would usually let people trade stuff out. It's just a matter of what they're trying to get. If they're trying to be like, well, I want this class feature over here, it's actually more powerful than this, but this way I won't have to multi-class. I mean, in that situation, you know, it's you gotta make sure that you're doing it. You know,
It would be tricky. It would be tricky.
But trading things out, I mean, it's not that bad as long as you're staying true to the character that you're designing and you're not getting something that's more powerful.
Sneak attack is like one of the more powerful abilities.
Oh, absolutely,
in the game.
yeah, right.
So
pretty
really,
frequent.
I don't think there's a lot of ways to go up from there.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder what you guys think about that. So I don't know. Like I said, the rogue is the hardest one to do of all of them. Like because it's so varied. It is the most varied. Like when we talked about wizard, you know what? No matter what, you're studious, you're intelligent, and you're trained.
Right.
Yeah. More than likely, as a monk, you're more than likely, you followed some tradition. So again, there's training there.
But with the rogue, as you said, you can really come from any walk of life. You can be on either side of the law. I see the rogue, because of the skill selection and whatever have you. It could easily be the bad guy, the person who's stealing from the town, and the town guard. Like
like a detective, basically.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The detective, the investigator, the person that's leading the stuff. You know, if you take perception and investigation as your expertise, that's exactly what a detective is going to be, and that's the best way to do it is with a rogue.
Yeah.
So
one of the best ways, yeah. For sure.
So skill expert is actually the best way to define that character, and then from there, you're gonna have to branch out.
Right.
And that's going to define. You're gonna have to figure out what motivated him to become expert in those skills, and or was he just naturally gifted? Is a savant? What's the deal there?
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What does your class say about you with the rogue? Put your thoughts, comments down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You can follow us over on Twitter.
Hang out with us on Facebook.
So until next time, stay nerdy.